Hey, welcome to Motivation Monday with Pastor Josh. Motivation is the act or instance of motivating, providing with a reason to act in a certain way. We're going to look at what that looks like today on this edition of Motivation Monday. Hey, what are you known for? Are you known for your love? Jesus said that his disciples would be known for their love. You know, I think about all this COVID-19 stuff, and obviously with everything going on in the news right now, and with everything that everybody's saying, I mean, everybody's saying stuff about this. I mean, news stations and government officials and anybody with a soapbox, medical personnel. I mean, everyone's talking about what's going on in the world right now. And on all over Facebook, you have people who are commenting on what's going on and what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, and man, there's just a lot going on right now. And so I want to challenge us with a thought today on this Motivation Monday. What motivates us? Does our love motivate us, or does our lust motivate us? They're both L words. They're both four-letter words, right? But they mean entirely different things. Lust is this idea of craving, right? It's an addiction. It's I must have it. It's really found in selfishness. It's found in the ugliness of the human heart, and we want our way, and we want it now. While love isn't self-serving, it's not self-seeking, but it keeps no record of wrongs. If you remember 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it's patient, it's kind, it's all these amazing things, and I encourage you to read that today, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We're not going to go that direction today. I just want to mention that just to frame our conversation, that we are meant to love each other. We're meant to love those around us. So can I challenge us not to be cynical, not to let yourself become cynical with everything going on in the world today, but to choose to love the way Jesus called us to. It's harder than we think. Even his disciples struggled to love the ones around him. I even think about the story of Judas. We just celebrated Passion Week a couple weeks ago. And I think about Judas and the story of the woman with the alabaster jar. She comes and she breaks it all over Jesus' feet. She pours it all over his feet. She worships him. She wipes it all off with her hair. And Judas responds, and he says this. It's John chapter 6. It says, "Then one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was about to betray him, said, 'Why wasn't this perfume sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor?'" And John records, he says, he didn't say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. And he was in charge of the money bag and would steal part of what was put in it. And Jesus answered, "Leave her alone. She has kept it for the day of my burial. For you always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." And so in this, we don't necessarily, in that situation, I wonder if we would have known what Judas was thinking, right? I mean, we don't necessarily know the motives of people. And maybe Judas was just making a comment like, "Hey, Jesus, why wasn't that used for the poor?" It seems so compassion driven, right? It seems so that's what you should say. That's the right answer. That's the Sunday school answer. But Judas's heart was so far from that, but he pretended to love. He pretended to desire the well-being of others. But in all reality, he just was concerned that there wasn't as much money going into the pot for him to steal. We can point fingers all day long at the people around us of what's going on, what's not going on. We can become cynical. Can I challenge you? Don't become a cynic or critic in this, but be somebody who is compassionate and a component to health and to going forward, and make sure that people are being loved. This is a great opportunity for us to be generous and to push forward with our finances. I encourage you to keep giving to your local church. Don't let the coronavirus bring you down. Don't let the coronavirus dip into what God has given you. And don't let yourself become fear-oriented. And that's another topic for another day. But allow yourself to be love-driven. Use this as an opportunity to be generous with what you've been given and to let God do something through it. Because I know that he wants to. But the problem is sometimes we're just so cynical, critical of what's going on, that we're using up too much energy being critical to be able to actually love. And so I encourage you, don't use your energy for lust and self-seeking. Don't be the Judas that pretends to care for the world, but really in hindsight you could care less. Don't be that person. Let Christ work through you. Let him love through you. That has been our Motivation Monday thought today. And so blessings on you. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in today.